Mark Ellmore, who is running for Congress in the 10th District. Mark, you're on the John Fredericks Radio Network with our Leesburg 6 panel.
Hey, great to be back, John. And I'm over in the 8th District. I'm Arlington, Alexandria, at Fairfax County. They've got a crew out there.
Well, you have.
But, we're right down the street. But welcome to the neighborhood.
Who are you? Are you in the district with the automobile dealer?
Absolutely. And if you happen to need an oil change for your Volvo or new tires on your Subaru, call Don Beyer today. For anything else, forget about it.
Don Beyer. You know, he sent me he sent a blast email the other day. He was demanding that unemployment get extended through January 2nd, the $600 a month federal unemployment. Right. When I was in Tennessee and Georgia, 2 states that were open, I was talking to small business owners, Jenny, you'll appreciate this, in the restaurant business who were staying closed. And I'm like, you're open. Why are you closed? And they're like, I can't find employees because I can't pay them $1,000 a week. They're getting $25 an hour to sit home. And then I'm like, well, you realize that if you send a letter to them and you send a letter to the IRS, right, they have to pay the unemployment back. You realize that. And one business owner said to me, I can't rat out my employees that at some point I need to come back. If I send that letter, I've trained them, I've spent money on them, they'll never work for me again. So, Jenny, therein lies your problem. Even when you do open, people are getting $25 an hour to sit home. Why would they come back to work?
Sure,
right?
Especially since they have, I don't know how many weeks left, but it started off with an extension to 39 weeks of unemployment from, I think, 26. Mm-hmm. And the CARES Act. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I've got employees making bank right now at home. A lot of them are also doing really wonderful things and volunteering to help with me within my business, which is great because, you know, thankfully I hire really great, wonderful people with high morals, but we can't say that about everybody.
Mark, tell us what's going on in Fairfax and Arlington.
Well, basically, we have the same problems that other folks have, and that is just this oppressive decision that we can't walk and chew gum at the same time, essentially, is really just suffocating small businesses. For one, you know, I have adult children, and my son, he's a professional fitness instructor, 8-year veteran, college grad, but you know what? He loves serving people and training people and helping them, you know, improve their life. Well, Gold's Gym, they went bankrupt, and, you know, you can't really go out and work, so he's jammed. We have people who are in other industries where all the service providers there, well, they're not at work. The restaurants, the servers, the dishwashers, and other folks, the hotel staff, that type of thing. So we're just seeing a complete mess right here in Northern Virginia where I think we can do better. We sent a great letter to Governor Northam, but it fell on deaf ears because he's just not willing to see that, you know, we can do 2 things at once, and that's be safe and get things back to order here and just do it in a right and secure way. But most importantly, we've got to get Northern Virginians back to work.
I'm going to get Pastor Schwenk involved here, Mark Ellmore. Mark with us running for Congress, 8th District against the car dealer, Don Beyer. Have pastors been pushing back there at all? I mean, you can't go to a church. It's under lockdown. What's been the reaction there of the churches?
Well, you know, I happen to be a member at McLean Bible Church, so we've done everything on a virtual basis. We've done, through the church, I've just kept up with the folks there and doing all of the outreach, and we still do all the humanitarian aid. And my team is a campaign we've been going to on behalf of local Republicans here in the area. We've been going to all the hospitals and taking Panera Bread cookies, like the 4 hospitals, there's over 1,300 cookies. So, but we've been doing all the work. I just think it's difficult for them to want to override and risk any possible fines or penalties. But, you know, something I wanted to share with you is my wife and I were just driving from an appointment in Arlington out to Tyson's the other day, and there's a Starbucks on Lee Highway as you go west.
Right,
There was a line down the street. It had to be 80 cars deep around them. And I'm thinking, well, you can't let people go to church in a parking lot or do other things, yet you will allow for that. Something's not adding up here. And it's no different than when you go to Home Depot or you go to Walmart or, you know, I go to Dunkin' Donuts and get coffee or what have you. everybody seems to be fine interacting, law enforcement, firefighters, professionals there in and out, no masks, no gloves, whatever. But it just baffles me that we can't seem to take the necessary steps in a secure manner to get the ball rolling again. It's almost like they're oblivious.
I want to bring in, Mark, thank you. I want to bring in Pastor Barney Schwanke in Leesburg. React to what Mark Ellmore just said.
Well, that's been our argument from the beginning is why can't I go to Walmart? Why, if I can go to Home Depot or especially Lowe's and I am just packed in there like sardines with everyone else, why can't, as a pastor, I take the safety precautions that are necessary? We've spent several $1,000s on equipment, air sanitation stuff. We have masks and gloves, all that stuff ready for our people to come back to worship. We were all excited last Sunday. We got on live stream. And by the way, we're a small church, and I know McLean Bible, where he goes, is one of the mega churches in the area, and that's great. And they were positioned really well. Some of the larger churches in Loudoun County are as well to do the online thing. But a lot of churches in Loudoun County and around Virginia are not mega churches with
Pastor,
1,000+
how big
people.
is your church?
Probably about 150 people who would call our church
easy.
home.
Yeah.
So, we're small. Maybe on average Sunday, 100 people kind of would be where we would be at. And it's very difficult for us to be able to do the type of ministry large churches can do. And so we are hurting. There's really no way that we can gather together as a church family. And I say that we call our Faithway Baptist Church, we call ourselves the Faithway family, and we are. Everybody knows everyone. And so it's like being torn, there's a limb that's torn off when you can't meet together with your church family. It's very difficult. And so that's been our argument, what he was saying a moment ago. You can go to all of these establishments, but you can't go to the vineyard. You can't go to church. You can't trust us as business owners or pastors to look out for the needs of our people. I don't want anyone in my church to get sick. I mean, I really, I care about them. I care about their soul. I care about their physical, but I don't want them to get sick in our establishment. So we're doing everything we can, but the government doesn't trust us enough. They think that they can tell us when and when we cannot meet. And so that's the reason why we're going to be talking to a judge and asking him to rule on this, because we believe we have the right as Americans to be able to, to determine when we worship God.
I'm going to give Gary Higgins the final word. Gary, I got a minute and a half.
Thank you, John. One of the really sad things about all of this, 1 year ago, the state of Virginia was considered the #1 state for business in the country.
10 million.
And Loudoun County was considered the #1 county in the state. And we were the economic engine of Northern Virginia. Today, we have the lowest rate of infection for COVID in Northern Virginia. We have the lowest rate of fatality. Everyone is a terrible tragedy. But we need to open up this area of the state. We need to get back to work. We need to get people back in their jobs, their businesses running, because if we destroy this economic engine, the whole state's going to pay for it, downstate, upstate, all over the place. And this legislature passed 1,291 new laws this year. Many of those were aimed at business, and we're going to do things that we're going to put the throttle on our business. That was bad enough. This makes it even worse.
Total
Gary
transformation.
Higgins, thank you. I want to thank our panel, the Leesburg Six here. Thank everybody for being with us.